Hey guys, Sean here. Today we have a super special video. 100 Thieves just won Red Bull home ground number 3. Here you can see their winning moment right here. The fireworks going off in the background. They just sent C9 home with a 3-0 win in the grand finals. Today though, we're going to talk about Bang's performance. So this kid is an absolute monster. Something I realized while coaching the team. He's 18 years old, plays the controller role for 100 Thieves, and throughout the event you saw a lot of Omen, Brim, Viper, but today what we're actually going to end up focusing on is his Brimstone. You can see here his statistics overall very impressive, considering he's only playing a controller, versus Cloud9. Again, this is just insane. 31 and 14. Next closest would be Austin at 21 kills on the Raze. Bang just tears people up when he plays Brimstone on Bind. What we're going to focus on today is how does Bang find success with his ults, his positioning, and his smoke timings. I'm going to start off with an eco round. You can see he's positioned early round actually over here nested with the chamber. He has two people probably working towards shower. The Viper wall is going to cut across over in this direction. Staying next to Cryo, letting Cryo lead the way. The deep smokes come in, and you can see this is designed to be a very fast play. The deep smokes come in for Heaven and CT. The Viper wall comes in to block the U-Haul line of vision, and the dog is immediately coming through shower for the race to come through. On an eco, you can clearly see the goal is to get as much ground as possible. Don't let the close fights happen. On a lot of gun rounds, you might see the smokes across the site. If you plan on popping out of showers, it might be a good idea to smoke U-Haul. But on this given round, where you have a significant gun advantage like this, you can smoke deep onto the site, and then that gives you so much more room in the post plant. In addition to that, you can see the Viper molly to stop these close angles in the U-Haul, and Bang is going to follow that up with a molly of his own right there in U-Haul. So completely blocking out these close angles, pushing up aggressively into the site. The round is literally lost before it even begins for them. So great approach to the eco right there by 100 Thieves, and Bang's utility usage is just phenomenal. Okay, so this is like a super spicy round here. This is something 100 Thieves had a lot of success with throughout the Red Bull Homegrounds event, and this is the 4 stinger buys. 4 stingers and a Spectre on Cryo. Watch this market push. What we're gonna see is a smoke to block off this push, and right after he smokes, he's going to drop a stim for these 3 players. And these players are just pushing into this market area. In addition to that, you can see over here at Hookah, we have the bird coming out, the molly going to land at Moja's feet. The market push is coming in. So smoke, stim, and you can see the second this kill goes down, he is going to smoke the cross right here. This smoke essentially just denies all info right now from foot. If you are the attackers, you don't know how many people are going to be on either site when this smoke clears. Watch how 100 Thieves approaches this, particularly Bang. He jumps across running, and then he ends up walking back. So he walks this whole way, essentially making it so that way Foot thinks an extra player has now gone to B. He is going to regroup with his teammates over here, and he dropped his 3rd smoke so that way he can get out of this position. I thought this was really cool. They end up losing all of the aim duels, which is quite unfortunate, but I thought it was really good utility usage out of Bang to end up in this scenario. This is the defensive ults from Bang against Cloud9, and these are really special because they're both reactive ults. These things aren't planned. Shower control is very important. You'll see this a lot when you watch Brimstones. They will pre-smoke shower, and then they'll float around this middle ground area of A, because if you can control shower, then you're making the A hit very one-dimensional, and the retake becomes significantly easier. You can see his goal here is to get Cryo set up in shower early round, and then once the info has come to him, the attacking team is indeed defaulting towards B here on this eco. You can see he starts shifting over, and you'll realize right now he's invested a little bit into this eco. He has Sheriff, armor, and this is a big round, right? If Cloud9 closes this out, they take the lead in this opening map. This is a lone pop coming out of the attackers, so they are opting to smoke Hookah, smoke CT, and take the fight into elbow in a second. Now watch how Bang makes them pay for that. So you see the second they start coming out, look where this ult is placed. It's coming all the way around right here. It goes into the edge of Octagon. And what that's doing is, if you are the first player in this hit, you are staggered massively from the rest of your team. You are separated, and they can't do anything to trade this kill. So it's just such a good time for this ult. You can see Zelsis actually has to satchel into elbow to get out of there. And even though he gets away, his location is known. And now we have 3 players in the site, 1 rotating, and Cryo's holding the TP rotate over here at A. All because of Bang's utility, in my opinion. So he comes in, and he still has 1 smoke left, and he just put it at Octagon. So right when Cloud9 decides, hey, we're going to actually continue into this site, you know, we have a player at elbow. We're kind of pot committed at this point. Bang drops the smoke Octagon. The whole team starts swinging. And at this point, you know, it's curtains for Cloud9. It's just such good utility usage coming out of the young controller. Let's look at the couple attack ults he used here in this Foot series. These are a little bit more aggressive. They have the Molly coming into the hookah push. They have the boombot coming through. Once they realize a player is going to fight for hookah, the paint shells come into hookah and the brim ult comes with the dog. So they're essentially trying to get this frag on the player in hookah before they can get out. This is a very, very creative way to use the brim ult. So we're going to watch it back one more time because there's a lot that goes on here. The boombot comes in, and if this player shoots the boombot or makes any kind of sound that they're in hookah, brim ult's going to come into the zone. The sky dog is going to come in, and the paint shells are going to force them to jump out or just die to the paint shells and swing. Now there's a little bit of mistiming here. You can see the intention. This is why his brimstone is so good. Let's keep playing it through just to see how the round plays out and see, you know, this Omen doesn't have many options. He's just jumping around. He ends up TPing into Octagon. And Derek's like, wait, what? The round is pretty much over before it ever begins. The Brim Molly to lock out spawn. You can see he had his Molly here. And 1, 2, 3, it's gone. So just like we saw previously, the Molly locks out the rotate. And these 3 players just, they can't even do anything. You know, they can't do anything to help their teammates in this site. The last round of this half, he actually has another really cool ult. This might be one that not many people know. Here is a Viper Molly coming out of Stellar. The Molly will land for the shower exit right here. The Sky Dog is going to come in. Watch how this all plays out. This is actually so cool. So, Molly coming in. And there is that Brim ult. It's getting all of this pocket. It's getting into showers. This Viper has just mollied under Austin's feet. The dog is coming through. Watch the assist count coming in on this player. It's so you get the triple assist into the Brim ult. Just so insane. Bang's just rushing up to trade that kill. His smokes are already down. The goal here is to get all of these close range kills, clear out the site. Just a brilliantly designed strat coming out of Mike's and, you know, the 100 Thieves team. Smokes to cut off these mid-distance fights that you probably want to take on an eco. Here on a gun round, you can see the strat design is very different. It's to clear out these close angles. Okay, this is probably one of my favorite rounds throughout this entire VOD because it just shows how good Bang is at the overall picture of a round, not overcommitting to fights, creating presence, using his utility. He does everything in this particular round. So he is playing the weak side right now with Cryo. So he's playing B. Off the bat, you can see he has opted to Brim Smoke long. What this does is it makes attackers use a PC utility to come up this choke. Simultaneously, the Omen captain over here on Foot has one-wayed the Octagon corner. Right now, Bang is behind a one-way, and he's playing kind of in between the 2 smokes. The smoke allows him to kind of take the angle back and essentially make this one-way invalid for a short amount of time. Because this smoke is here, now the fade has to come over. They have to prowl through, and Bang breaks the prowler. By breaking the prowler, you're essentially making it where enemy team now has to use more utility. So they've now used a one-way smoke, a prowler, and they're gonna have to bring bodies over here as well to disrespect this Brim smoke. They've invested a lot into this at the start of the round. In addition to that, you can see that their Brimstone, they're actually running a triple controller, by the way. There's a lot of vision denial going on from Foot, and one being this hookah smoke that has pushed off Cryo off of this aggressive line. And meanwhile, on the strong side of the map, you have a Viper pit down, 2 people holding shower. Once Bang breaks that prowler, he backs off to a more passive angle because he could get pop flashed through the smoke at any second. He can get gunned down, and he's just jiggling in and out. And there's the second prowler coming through, and he shoots it again. He's breaking this prowler again, which then makes the enemy team think, well, he could be baiting for someone in this corner or this corner. So now as the round kind of plays out, you can see he's kind of repositioning, and he's going to play his patented spot here. He's going to go on this hookah box. And I've seen this kid get so many multi-kills from this spot. It's actually insane. So he smokes off hookah, the goated perfect time, because now two people have worked their way into hookah, the Raze and the Brim, and he's just off-angled right here. In addition to that, Cryo is back sight, potentially ready to swing. And watch what happens next. So he was going to separate this hit, but unfortunately this Raze beat him by like half a second. And the ult comes in, and you can see it gets all of Octagon right here, which is going to separate the hit again. It's going to keep the fade out. It's going to make the Omen commit through. The Raze and Brim are coming out of hookah, but you can see he's still in a great spot to get these kills. So he gets the first one, gets the second, and separated the hit out enough to create this kind of disruption. Actually outrageous, the impact he has with his utility, particularly the ult. Let's look at how Bang approaches these retakes on the A site. This is another round where he's playing the weak site with Cryo, and they do the same smoke long. They have a trip for long, and he still has full util. Now, watch how he uses this stim to rotate, and let's take a look at how he uses these last two smokes. So you can see right when the smokes come in, he stims for the rotate so he can get to this A site as quick as possible. He has put a smoke down short right then and there as quick as he could with a short position. So he's put a smoke down for them on short, and he's now rotating with one smoke at his disposal. So let's take a look at how he comes into the site. And they're at a disadvantage right now. It's a 4-on-3. They have 2 ops on this retake. Some magic needs to happen for 100 Thieves here. And Bang's got that. So coming out of heaven, you can see he's going to creep along the outer fringe of the smoke. Very common fight to take coming out of the heaven smoke. Kind of eliminates a lot of the angles that can take you out, particularly from shower. You get the fight onto default, and he shielded his footstep with that one bullet. So now he can take this one quick fight. Boom. And the dog clears out his left. You can see right away he's aware, okay, my left is clear. I have one smoke left. What do I smoke? I smoke the spike. You don't smoke short, you don't smoke U-Haul, you smoke the spike, because once you tap, it creates chaos for the other team. They don't know if you're sticky in that smoke. They just have to kind of spam the smoke, and if they spam the smoke in this kind of retake on a 3-on-3, one of your teammates is likely going to take them out. If they don't spam the smoke, you could technically stick it. So drops his smoke on the spike, constantly jiggle peeking in and out, catches another fight in that same spot, takes a couple shots into the smoke just in case someone's hiding there, and immediately is sticking. This is the scenario I was referring to. You can see Foot just not many good options here for them, and they both fall. And that was with a molly on the spike. We can see he's going to play this similar weak side setup with Cryo. He's going to smoke long, keep control over this area. Meanwhile, his teammates have shower control with this Viper wall. You got the trip in hookah combined with Cryo opping it. You know, this is a very solid setup for the weak side. Huge find from Stellar over there. And meanwhile, you can see Bang has switched up his smokes. He went from smoking deep long to assuming, well, if Stellar is going to get this kill outside of showers, that means that no one is in this quadrant of the map, and likely a B hit is coming in. So even though I didn't see anyone long, and even though we early smoked this, I should assume that the enemy team is working up long right now. And that's what his thought process is. He's assuming they're working up. So he smokes clouded out from Octagon. And this is a very difficult smoke to come through as an attacker, right? So he's going to go into, again, this standard place over here by hookah. He's used his last smoke to block off hookah as well. He's completely stalling out now on this weak side. He's going to hide right here and look straight up. If someone were to hop on that box, they would die. And watch his positioning throughout this entire clip. So he doesn't overcommit. Just like in this long scenario where this smoke faded and he re-smoked here. When this smoke fades and there's no sound in hookah, that doesn't mean no one's there. You can see backside, Asuna is jump spotting for him. He's the eyes and ears on this hookah peak. There it is. He's satcheling the long, essentially just delaying it a little bit, letting the long players know he's there, which then kind of flusters the stylus hit. But once Asuna falls from the ult combined into, Yays, that opens things up massively for Bang. So he's going to have a really nice transfer onto Zalsis right there, whips around, kills Leaf, and then closes it out onto Ye. Just the presence of to stay tucked for these kills is outrageous. He understands that the lurk is definitely in hookah, and then takes out Ye as the fourth. A lot of his success comes from spacing with his teammates, particularly the duelists, his timings. These are things you can work on, and when to use specific smokes. Do you want to smoke deep on ecos? Do you want to, block off hookah vision on a long B pop? Do you want to control long B? Do you want to control shower? He always has a plan at the start of these rounds. And that's the one thing that you should probably take away from this video is what's your plan opening up these rounds, right? And that's something you can take into your Brim games. I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Be sure to subscribe, follow, stay tuned for more content. Love you guys. Peace out.